The last bit of knitting we have to do on the sleep sack is to add the collar. And in this example, I've done it in a contrasting color. And in this example, I've done it out of the same color of yarn. So either is fine, of course. So let's get started. With the wrong side facing, I've already picked up, as you can see, a few of these stitches. You're going to want, well, first of all, with right side facing, you're going to want to find the very center of the front section of the yoke. And then with wrong side facing, starting at that spot, just over from that spot, you're going to want to pick up the number of stitches, pick up and knit the number of stitches the pattern tells you. And I've left a few here so I can go over this with you. You just need one needle for this. You put your needle in to both legs of the V, running along the top of the collar edge there, wrap it and pull it through. You go into the next one. Both legs of the V, wrap it and pull it through, all the way down to the very last one. It's not quite a V at the very last one because we had the I-cord edging, but I just stabbed my needle in there and did it. Now this is tricky. Trust the pattern here, because if you start to overthink it, you're going to think you're doing something wrong. I have the right side of the sweater showing here, but this is actually the wrong side of the collar. So you're going to turn the work and work a wrong side collar with the right side of the sweater showing. Let me show you why that is. Because if we unfold the collar here like this, right side, wrong side. It's so when it folds over, we have right side showing on both the collar and the sweater. Get what I'm saying? Okay. Oh, one more thing I'll show you while I have this here. You'll notice that the collar has the same I-cord edging to help it lay flat that we had here at the back opening. So we're going to continue slipping 3 stitches at the beginning of each row to give us this edge. Okay. So I'm on a wrong side row, and my pattern tells me to slip 3 with yarn in front, which sets me up for a purl row. Gives me my edge. I'm going to purl 1 stitch and then place a marker, which I don't have one handy right now, but just slide a marker on this needle and then purl across the rest of the stitches. On the next row, of course, I'll slip 3 with yarn in back to create the I-cord edging on the other side, doing exactly what we did at this back opening. The important part about doing the collar is to just trust the directions. The instructions are correct even if it doesn't feel right, and you need to keep a row count of where you are in the collar because things happen pretty quickly. It's a little tiny bit of knitting, but there are a lot of twists and turns with the edging and the shaping and stuff, so just follow the directions. And once you finish one side, you'll go ahead and do the other side. The last thing you'll want to do before you present this as a gift is to wash it and block it. And it really depends on what fiber you're using. If you're using 100% wool or superwash wool, the collar and the whole sweater is going to block out really nicely with a flat collar and everything else. For the samples that I've knit here, I've used a microfiber blend and a wool blend on the 2 different sweaters. And I've found that when you're working with those fibers, that if you really want to give something shape and have it hold, the best thing to do is to use an iron. And that's what I've done with both of these little sweaters to get the collars to really be flat and perfect. And that pretty much sets it. And you can't use an iron directly on a synthetic fiber. So what I did was I turned it on full steam and I used a linen dish towel between the sleep sack and the iron and then pressed it down, and that was all it took. Synthetic fiber and wool are really very different in that way. Wool, you just get it wet, pat it out the way you want it, and it's going to stay. This is very different. And then the last thing you'll do is to sew on buttons of your choice to match the yarn that you've used, and that's it. You have a sleep sack to present as a baby shower gift.